I want to talk about something in martial arts for a minute, and it has to do with the idea of Wei Wu Wei. And Wei Wu Wei is the Chinese Taoist term to do without doing. And why I bring this up, particularly in relationship to Zen. I've spent 50 years in the martial arts, and not as somebody who does form and kata and all that stuff, but as someone who actively trained and fought. The reason I bring this up is because there's a Zen expression, which is the samurai said, "I did not stab him, he impaled himself on my sword." And I've heard that as being absolutely horrible and psychotic, and Zen believes this view of things. He impaled himself on my sword. How crazy do you have to be to say something like that? I have to tell you that if the people that have that view don't understand what it means, and this is important, especially for someone who's trained for years, it doesn't mean that they didn't put the sword out there. It means that when you've trained, and you train a lot, and you learn to see deeply your opponent, and to be present and engaged, that you know when to present your fist or your sword or whatever it is. I'm not into sword. So that in a confrontation, I may be moving, and I know because of the way I've seen him move, that if my fist is here at this time, he's going to step into it. He stepped into my fist. I see the opening he creates. He thrusts at me, and my foot is there, my hand is there, something is there. So he stepped into it. It was his action coming forward. And it wasn't that I wasn't engaged in fighting with him. I was. But this moment of I don't know what to say, retaliation, whatever it is as a result of that person's action toward me. When I first had this done to me, I was sparring with somebody much better than me, and I had talked about developing my skill and my speed and all these things, and he laughed at me and said, "You don't have anything." And I said, "BS, I do. You know, I pick the Marowaka board, I do all these other things." So you don't have anything. And I said, "Okay, what comes next always in these scenarios is, let's do it." And I said, "Okay." And we moved, and I stepped toward him, and I went flying backward. Knocked me down. And to this day, I don't know if he kicked me or if he punched me. And that was easily 40 years ago. And I was stunned, and I was depressed. And he said, you stepped into my technique. I could see what you were doing, and you stepped into my technique. So anyway, this idea of someone impaling himself on your sword isn't that you're not culpable and you're not responsible. It's that in the motion that happens. And quite honestly, I work at professional sports, television. I do a lot of things, but music, sports, martial arts. I would tell you that a great batter in baseball meets the ball there. He is moving because he knows where the ball's going to be. You know, I've talked to great athletes about this, boxers the most, but when they've said, it was just there, it presented itself, and he stepped into me. This is very common in athletics. Why is that guy so good? Why is he at the right place at the right time? Because he is doing it without doing it. He's fully absorbed and aware, and he's not in a subject-object duality at that moment. He's just pure being, pure enactment, pure art, okay? So I just wanted to say that because that obviously, it's a bug I have when people talk about these things. Thank you.